Welcome to the show. President Barack Obama has landed in St. Petersburg, Russia, just hours ago for what is expected to be, I guess I don't want to overstate it, but certainly a tense G20 summit. And we already have any number of news headlines about this. Here's one that I saw come across from CNBC's Eamon Javers, and he took a picture of President Obama greeting Vladimir Putin and characterized it as a death stare. The picture is over my shoulder for those who are watching. It certainly looks like, when you look at this picture, like President Obama does not seem too happy with Vladimir Putin, but there are other pictures that are floating around from this same exchange that were, three frames later or 3 frames earlier, so to speak, and it doesn't really look that bad. So, Lewis, I think we can't read too much into one still shot. I think video would tell us a lot more, and I've just not been able to find it, but that doesn't mean that there is not tension here diplomatically. We know that there is.
Right, of course. I'm sure this was just, like you said, the perfect shot to make it look like there is tension there, but usually Obama is much more, diplomatic.
You have to admit the picture is funny, but what we do know that is not based on just one frame, one still shot, is written by The Guardian's Ian Trainer, and he says, when world leaders file into St. Petersburg's Imperial Constantine Palace on Thursday, Presidents Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama will be distant from one another literally as well as politically. The seating order, which would have had the Russian and U.S. leaders separated only by the Saudi king, has been reshuffled to put 5 leaders, including David Cameron, between the two key adversaries over Syria and much else. I got an email saying this is childish and pathetic. I got another email saying that it makes sense because there's a serious diplomatic rift right now between Russia and the United States. I actually don't think, Lewis, contrary to what some people are saying, that the anti-gay stuff that Russia is doing is really playing a big role in the breakdown of the working relationship between the U.S. and Russia. I think that the timing of it is convenient so that it appears as though that may be a factor, and certainly a lot of people who are in the equality movement, as are we, like the fact that there is this conflict which is at least happening at the same time as the gay rights issues with Russia. Although I think that it is not really over that. I think it is mostly over Snowden. And then more broadly speaking, it is over some Russian involvement with Mideast conflict where the U.S. is perceiving Russia to not be on the right side. And I think that the timing just seems to coincide with the gay rights debacle in Russia.
It seems like for a long time, since the Cold War, there's been a lot of tension. Russia's always trying to stifle us in one way or another. There are a lot of policies that we don't like, and there's always been a lot of tension, but you can't be hostile.
Vladimir Putin also saying that Secretary of State John Kerry is a flat-out liar over the testimony that John Kerry gave earlier this week before Congress. And he said he was speaking to his Human Rights Council, and Vladimir Putin said, "This was very unpleasant and surprising for me. We talk to them, the Americans, and we assume they are decent people, but he's lying, and he knows that he is lying. This is sad." So we'll continue following this. We'll continue following it in the context of Syria and more broadly as well.